Kenny Golladay has done nothing but be an elite NFL receiver. Here, one second. What are we gonna look up? Yeah, it's this. He's done nothing but be an elite NFL receiver. Since he's been in the NFL, especially the past 2 years, and he's not being traded as such. And even on a new team, I think he's a very, 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 very good value. So in 2018, Kenny Golladay was PFF's. No, he was the. Sorry. In fantasy, in 2018, he was wide receiver 21 in 15 games. So he was a solid wide receiver too. You're probably starting him damn near every week, and he's a very solid option for almost all of the year. And in the following season, in 2019, Kenny Golladay is the wide receiver 9 in 16 games. So he is a top 10 receiver. He is a wide receiver 1 for lots of teams, and he's kind of the shit. And he plays all 16 games in 2019. Kenny Golladay has an 80 plus PFF grade in 3 straight seasons, and he had an 81.6 grade in limited snaps last year, which is absolutely elite for receivers. In 2019, he was the 17th highest graded receiver out of 122 qualified receivers, and in 2018, he was the 21st highest graded receiver out of 118 receivers. Okay, so he's been the definition of an elite receiver in the past 2 years that he's been healthy. Okay, and even last year when he wasn't healthy, he was elite in the time he was on the field. Okay, his career yards per reception is 16.8, so he is indeed a deep threat, and he led the league in deep targets in 2019. Okay, he had the sixth deepest average depth of target. His A dot was the sixth deepest in 2018, and he was getting other volume. So not only was it on a per play basis, but he was getting a lot of these targets. He was the definition of an elite deep threat. And Danny Dimes happens to be a deep sniper. Okay, Kenny Golladay was fourth in contested catch percentage in 2019, and he was fantasy's 12th ranked receiver in points per game last year in just 4 healthy games. Okay, his 2.47 yards per hour run was seventh in the NFL last year. So, like I'm saying, Kenny Golladay is absolutely elite as a deep threat. He's been elite every time he's on the field. Even if he was limited last year, he was very elite. And Daniel Dimes just happens to be an elite deep route thrower himself. Okay, now Matthew Stafford was just PFF's 14th graded quarterback last year out of 38, and Danny Dimes was actually 18th. So the drop off from Stafford to Danny Dimes is a bit overblown in my opinion. And Kenny Golladay has never had over 120 targets in a single season. Okay, so that's a bit of here. Actually, let me put my Danny Dimes notes so I can get some notes on him. Right. Um, he had the highest passer rating in the NFL when throwing 20 plus yards on the field. So you're matching up Danny Dimes, who has no weapons, has no deep threats, but is elite at throwing the deep ball. He has the highest passer rating when throwing 20 plus yards. You give him Kenny Golladay, who's been the definition of an elite deep specialist throughout the years, and I think good things are gonna happen. Okay, so Kenny Golladay has never had over 120 targets in a single season, and he could do it this year. He could because he is clearly the best player on this team, best receiver, best everything. And I believe he's going out like wide receiver 25, like 26, I think, and that's just too low. I mean, this guy, he was a top 10 receiver. Last time I saw him play a full season, last year in a limited sample, he was wide receiver 1. He's getting a great deep route thrower at quarterback with no competition for targets. They paid him big money. He's been elite. I mean, Kenny Golladay is just a value right now. I mean, no matter how you put it, don't buy into the wide receiver first team narrative. Like, cause you know, I don't see enough data to back that up. If you're getting Kenny Golladay as a flex play, very lone wide receiver 2, I mean, this guy has upside to be a wide receiver 1. Like this guy has already been wide receiver 1, and now he's getting an elite deep ball thrower, with not much competition for targets. So yeah, go ahead and draft Kenny G because he is indeed going to be a great value this year in fantasy.